Hey, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. It's been another very busy week here in Washington, D.C., so let's get into all of it. First of all, this week I introduced legislation to help strengthen emergency preparedness for pets called the Pet Safe Act. Now, when disaster strikes, no family should have to choose between leaving their pets behind or risking their own safety. Too often, families delay or refuse evacuation because they don't have a safe option for their pets. That puts lives at risk, and it makes emergency response more difficult for first responders. Removing this stressful barrier, it ensures communities can respond effectively when disaster strikes. My bill is about maximizing readiness for companion animals in weather-related crisis. Without authorizing a single taxpayer dollar, my bill it allows states and local governments to access emergency funds for sheltering, veterinary care, training, specialized rescue equipment. This important change will make it easier and more affordable, really, for our cities and our counties when an evacuation order is issued, when we plan for our animals, when we save human lives also. So, I want to talk about something else. Switching gears. During a Transportation and Infrastructure Committee markup this week, I spoke in strong support for the resolution affirming that we, as a Congress and as a nation, should take the time and space to honor those who commit their lives to protecting our communities. This resolution, it allows for the National Peace Officers Memorial Service to be held on the grounds of the United States Capitol later this year, as we do every year. The National Peace Officers Memorial Service, it represents a moment of unity, a moment of remembrance, and a moment of respect, and so many other things. Allowing it to be held on the Capitol building's grounds, the front yard, says to every officer and surviving loved one, your service member matters, your service matters, your sacrifice matters. It is not forgotten. Thank you for that service in our law enforcement, for protecting our community day after day, putting on that shield, that badge, that body armor, that pistol, getting out there in a patrol car. Everything that you do as our law enforcement, thank you so much. And a grateful nation is who thanks you. That's why it's being done here at the Capitol, because it's on behalf of a grateful nation. I called on my colleagues to join me and stand with those who protect us today, tomorrow, every single day. We know that they're out there doing it. Now, during the markup, we also touched on another bill that I'm working on, the Local Water Protection Act. Now, this piece of legislation will provide us more resources in our fight for clean water. This bill, it reauthorizes a program run by the Environmental Protection Agency to help local and state governments make necessary conservation improvements. Importantly, these funds are voluntary grants which empower communities with the flexibility to tackle their own water challenges. The Local Water Protection Act, it specifically targets non-point source pollution. We call that NPS. Pollution that doesn't just come from a single pipe, but through runoff and many diffused sources that makes it more difficult to identify. This kind of pollution, it travels indirectly into our waterways, like how rainfall deposits human-made waste into estuaries. In Florida, non-point source pollution is a major contributor to toxic algal blooms and declining water quality. These impacts, they don't only harm the environment, they threaten public health and tourism and small businesses and our way of life. Clean water, it is essential to our economy. It's essential to our community. It's essential to our own personal health and well-being. And I'm going to continue to do everything that I can to keep our water clean. I will keep up that fight every single day, as I have since the moment that I came in Congress. That has been my number one priority, is fighting for our local community, and that part of our local community that is our water, that we fish in and we sit on the dock in and we go out to the sandbar and we just have good times with our family in every single season. As Floridians, we're going to continue to fight for that in the way that we always have. Want to switch gears again. Last thing I'm going to talk about today. As chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I held a hearing focused on Syria's future and what it means for the United States. Now, the world is ready for Syria to turn the page after years of that brutal dictatorship under Bashar al-Assad, this nonstop conflict that has gone on there. The Syrian people deserve a country that adds to stability to the region and stability for the globe, really. Not this country that's constantly creating these migrants, these people that go all across Europe, all across the Middle East because of everything going on in their country. But transitions of this scale are never clear-cut. The United States made clear that Syria does not have a blank check. sanctions were lifted because Bashar al-Assad is gone. That was the reason for the sanctions. The sanctions were specifically against Bashar al-Assad, their former president. But conditions remain. Syria is not yet where it needs to be. In Congress, I will continue watching closely because what happens there, it affects the national security of the United States of America and of our service members across the globe, especially when you consider the terrorist entities that had been allowed to just fester there in Syria, like ISIS and others. And as one easy example, there was recently a transfer of about 7,000 imprisoned ISIS fighters that had been rolled up because of their terrorist activities that now had to be moved out of Syria and moved to a place that's not that good for them either, for holding them, Iraq. So these are big ways that things in these other countries, even on the other side of the globe, can affect the United States of America when you're talking about prisons filled with terrorist prisoners. That's how it ends up affecting us as one example. Anyways, as always, I just want to say it's an honor to serve you. I look forward to seeing you all around home. And you all take care. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.